In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to download video files from a camera like a flip camera or perhaps the Kodak Play Touch. I'm going to first start by plugging in the flip camera. You'll see what happens to the screen when that plugs in. This is my flip camera, and I'm now going to plug in the Kodak camera. A similar window should appear, and it does. So this is one way that I can access these files. You'll notice a whole load of different choices here, and one is open folder to view files. I'm going to double click on that, and I'm now looking at the inside, if you like, of my Kodak camera, resizing the window a little bit, and I'm looking for the DCIM folder. That stands for Digital Camera Image folder. I'm going to double click that, and I've got one more folder called 100 Video. I'm going to double click that, and now I am looking at all the videos that there are on my flip. I move over this way to my Kodak camera. Same thing applies here. I'm going to go to where it says open folder to view files. Double click there. Let's move that window over so you can see the two separate cameras. I'm now going to also double click on the DCIM folder. One more folder called the 100 Touch for the Kodak Touch. I'm going to double click that. And these are all the files that now exist in my Kodak. One of the best things I find to do is to place a folder first of all onto my desktop and put all my files there. So I'm going to right click on my desktop, go to New, then to Folder. Notice the folder icon is there. New folder 2 is highlighted, so I can now type a file name in there. I'm going to call this video files, and then I'm going to click outside that folder so that my name sets. I'm also going to double click to open this folder. I prefer to work this way, and I'm also going to resize the folder. Notice I'm grabbing the corner to resize the shape of the folder, and so I can move it down a little bit. I'm going to move my recording device out as well. So I'm going to now move some files from my flip camera, which is over here, and I can move several files at the same time. You can move a lot at the same time, but for the purposes of this tutorial, we're just going to move 3. So I'm going to click on the first file on the Kodak, on the flip. I'm only going to hold my Shift key down. I'm going to click on File 2 and File 3. I now have a highlighted block of 3 files. I'm going to grab this block by pointing my mouse at it, hold my left mouse button down, and simply drag. And you'll see I've got 3 files that I'm dragging, and I'm now going to drop them into my video folder, video file folder. And so my progress bar is telling me where I'm at in terms of the files downloading into my video files folder. Do be a bit patient. It's not very long, but it does take a little bit of patience, and it's best not to rush these things. But while I'm waiting for that to be finished, I'm going to now go over to my Kodak folder, which is this one, and I'm going to highlight the first 3 files there. Again, I'm going to click on File 1, hold my Shift down, click on 2, click on 3, and I've got my block ready to move. My flip files are almost done. Progress bar has disappeared. I'm now coming over to my Kodak camera. Left mouse click down in the middle of this block, drag the 4 files down into my folder and drop them in. And now we'll wait for the Kodak camera to do its bit. For 45 seconds, I don't think it's going to take quite that long. You'll also notice that in my flip and in my Kodak, the folder is got a list of file names, while in my video files folder, I've got icons. You are always able to change this view, and I'm going to show you how to here. I'm just going to expand this a little piece. It's gone right here on this folder, and it's up here on these two folders. The down arrow, click on the down arrow, and I want to change this to a list. Personally, I prefer this. Maybe you don't. It depends entirely actually on what you're doing. So for now, this is the end of this tutorial. In as much as I'm going to close out my video file folder, I'm going to close out my Kodak, I'm going to close out my flip, and I'm now also going to remove safely my two external pieces of hardware. I'm going to click on this little green. I'm going to eject my Kodak, wait for it to say safe to remove, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask it to eject my flip camera, which is the last thing left, and now it's safe to remove. And with that, this tutorial is done.